I've been streaming maybe a year. I was only doing Facebook for a long time, and then I switched to doing YouTube, and now I'm doing Twitch. So, okay, I think I'm going to talk to CTV. Let's go. What? Thank you, sir. What's going on?
Trying to figure out what's going on. Apparently, you're supposed to be hosting the panel tomorrow.
Yeah.
How long have you been on Twitch?
Man, about a month.
How long have you been a conservative?
My whole life.
Your whole life.
Yeah.
Are you consider yourself conservative?
Yeah. Lots of people disagree with me on this, but I guess.
Who disagrees with you?
I mean, I've had it out with Vivian Wolf, Aiko.
So they don't think you're a conservative, or they do think you're conservative?
I think what they're saying is that, like, if I call myself a conservative, but I still believe in like Black Lives Matter movements and trans rights and things like that, then I'm just confusing other people by calling myself conservative.
Really? Because I believe in trans rights.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they say. So.
I mean, you are aware that CTV is definitely the conservative that has been able to bring all conservatives together in unity for trans rights here on Twitch. You are aware of that fact, right?
I mean, I am aware that you have a very popular trans emote. So,
it's a T-Rex.
Yeah, it's a T-Rex, a trans T-Rex. So yeah, I am aware of that fact.
Well, no, it's literally just a T-Rex.
What do you mean? So why do they call it a trans emote then?
What's the name of the emote?
I don't know. I haven't seen
the name of the emote. The emote is Critic 100 T-Rex, right? So it's a T-Rex, right?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right. Because it could go either way, Tyrannosaurus or transgender, right?
Gotcha.
T-Rex. So T-Rex.
That's clever.
And you saw the video that Vadim did, obviously, right?
No. Davine?
No. Oh my God. Hold on. Yes. Okay. Tomfoolery. Let me catch you up.
All right.
So I guess, before we.
Oh God.
You know what? We're going to let you get comfortable first. We're going to let you get comfortable. That's how it's going to go tonight. I hope you're ready. All right. Here we go. So, check in your Discord. I'm going to share this to you so you can watch it as well. You can put it on your stream too if you want. You said you were streaming, right?
Yeah, I'm streaming.
Okay. This is the T-Rex. This is why. There you go.
Some of my folks are posting it in my chat right now. All right, let's see. You said you posted it in my Discord?
Wait, Tom, are you not seeing this?
Hold on.
Look in the Wolfpack chat, bro.
Sorry. I thought you said you were posting it on my Discord.
No.
Okay.
I'm just playing it for you right here so you can watch it live with me.
You said the Wolfpack chat? Which?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're in the Wolfpack chat, bro.
Yeah, I'm on here, but I don't see anything on your screen, so.
I'm sharing the stream. Do you see that?
Just send it to him so we can play it on his stream.
Yeah, no, I don't see a share on here.
Do you see the window that says right there? This is
I see
the dinosaur with trans rights. You don't see that?
Nope. It doesn't say anybody sharing a. sorry.
Okay, do you
say-
see? Okay, check this out. You're looking in the Wolfpack chat now. You see 3
Yes.
windows, right? One
Correct.
with me, one with Aftershock, one with you, right?
Correct.
Okay, now, do you see this 4th window?
Nope.
Okay, Tom. Where you see where it says Wolfpack chat?
I've
right?
shared screens on here before, so I know what you guys are looking for, but it's just not showing up on my screen.
Okay, so why is my screen share in the Wolfpack
What?
chat not showing up on your screen?
I have no clue. I've done
me
this
see
a
what
million
you're looking
times, but like,
Share your screen to your stream so I can see what you're looking at.
okay.
Oh yeah, he doesn't see it. Yeah, it's not.
That's weird. Why doesn't he
That's
see it?
really weird.
I might not have like a role or something, I'd assume.
Hmm.
All right, well, then I'm going to ask you to open up my stream so that you can watch along on my stream. Okay?
All right, cool.
All right, let's do that. Let me know when you're ready. Are you ready?
It's loading. I'm using a laptop to stream, so it can take a minute sometimes.
Okay, no worries. Why did Aftershock jump out? He'll probably be back.
Aftershock seems
It's
to
loading.
like just get. I'm using a laptop to stream. So
Okay,
there we
it
go.
can
Take a minute sometimes.
Okay, no worries. Ready? Aftershock jump out.
Mhm.
He'll probably be back. Okay, here we go. I'm going to mute my mic so it doesn't double feed in your
Aftershock seems
Yeah,
to
we're
like
stream, okay?
just.
Yep.
Okay, there we go.
Ready?
Mhm.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to mute my mic so it doesn't double feed in your stream, okay?
Yeah, we're echoing.
Because it would be
Why?
the same because it would be the same argument that they made at Jurassic Park.
What do you mean? Wait, what are you talking about Jurassic Park for?
Well,
How are trans women not women?
well,
And besides, like, your
if
your
you're
idea
going to
of
ask the
genitalia.
question, shut the fuck up.
I will say I am deathly curious about Jurassic Park right now. I would love you to explain to me about this.
Now, it's the same argument that would be had at Jurassic Park, right? Now, were the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park dinosaurs, or were they genetically mutated monsters that were put on for entertainment purposes? They were not dinosaurs, right? And we knew this if we watched the movies. And in this case, just because you change your body and you did not develop it naturally doesn't make you the same. It makes you similar, but not the same.
Oh, no one's saying that trans women.
You said there's a separation of the mind and body, which I said, yep, there is
No,
a
I said
separation
the
of the
mind
mind and
and
body,
the
in
body.
which case, right, which is,
And wait, what do you mean they weren't dinosaurs in Jurassic Park?
they weren't. They were genetically mutated monsters that were mixed with frog DNA.
Is that what they said? Does anyone remember the line "genetically mutated monsters for frogs"?
Yeah.
They used the frog DNA to fill in the code, not that they weren't dinosaurs. They
They
even
weren't
said
dinosaurs.
welcome to, like it said, welcome to the world of dinosaurs.
Did you
When
not
that
see The
stupid
Lost
man said,
World?
Not welcome to the world of
You didn't see The Lost
monstrous
World, did you?
abominations.
You didn't see The Lost World, did you? Because they went into that in detail, right? But
I can't believe
understand
we're
if you
going
have-
over movies, which are totally
Boy.
That's good, dude. That is good stuff right there. I love it. Oh, that was good.
so this is what you got to understand. There's a whole brand new wave of conservative come around,
Yeah.
right? And I know you've been here for a month, right? I don't know you that well,
Mhm.
which makes me very skeptical of you,
Yeah, sure.
which is just my nature. So, why do you think you're a conservative?
So normally, I guess let's start with like I would define like right and left terms by saying that leftists are more about equality and collectivism, and right wing is more about individual rights. And
Wait, who did you vote for?
I voted for Biden. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Not-
waiting for that.
Not it wasn't so much that I like Biden or agree with anything. I just don't like Trump.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Whoa.
there's a disconnect here now.
Okay.
Sketch from the start.
Yeah. So
Sketch from the start.
then from there, I would say that like conservatism is normally going to be right leaning. They're more worried about individuals. They're going to be religious. They care about.
So let me ask you this question then. Then why is it that when you read over Biden's plans for gun control, his gun control measures that were listed on his website and how he wanted to be able to hold gun manufacturers responsible, which is honestly some
That's
old,
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
it's fucking old legislation we already went over, right? It's listed on his website, and you still thought that that guy was going to be the guy that was going to protect your Second Amendment rights.
I didn't think he was going to be able to do anything with it, though. Like I when polled, most Americans don't.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to do any of that stuff.
Wow. You clearly, dude, I think maybe you're showing like a gross misunderstanding of the current political landscape.
Yeah, and I feel like where like CTV is trying to come from is like he thinks that you're trying to start like a conservative community. You could say like a kind of like a safe haven where we can all get together and everything, but you're not really
Yeah, sure.
you're not really there.
So look, I'm more so probably moving away from just the labels in general, because even when other people like give me like labels like liberal or progressive or whatever, I end up disagreeing with them on what they think those things are. And I've had lots of arguments where I tell people like, no, I find labels to be like very helpful and kind of like portray a general belief, and then you can pick into like what it is that I believe from there. But it is causing confusion. I'm not trying to start a conservative community. I'm trying to have a community of like the most broad array of beliefs that like, and that's what I've been doing for years. And all of my panels so far have been split like almost like 20-80 right leaning versus left leaning, where it's all lefties on the panels, and it's gotten very frustrating to just sit there and listen to these people, and I end up getting like shouted down by a bunch of people, even on other panels that I go on. Like it's me versus 10 other people. So I don't see any. I see lots of all left leaning panels. I see them all the time on Twitch. I don't see any right leaning panels. I haven't seen them.
All right, let me ask.
So I just wanted to do
this.
it myself. Yeah.
Where are you at with, say, the legalization of substances?
I don't.
Do you think that we should make heroin and cocaine legal?
No. Hell no. So I'm actually.
Hell no.
Yeah, I'm actually a recovered heroin addict, and I can promise you make heroin legal tomorrow. I've been clean for over 10 years. You make heroin legal tomorrow, I'm going back to doing heroin. Like what keeps me from doing it is the fear of going to prison.
Told you.
Or back to prison.
You think? Okay, so let me ask you this: even though you know better, right? You know better, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd still go do it.
Yeah, I'm an addict.
You know what that speaks to?
Addiction.
That's not an argument.
Addiction.
That's not an argument.
That's literally an argument. Do you know what that?
Okay, then let's legalize murder.
Are you going to fucking listen, or are you just going to keep trying to shout me down in my own fucking space, bro?
Not even shouting.
Oh.
Okay.
You're shouting. You're shouting. All right. Now check this out. Do you know what that speaks to? A lack of self-control. You already know it's not good for you. So why would you go do it? Like you literally have the education and you've recovered from it. Why would you go back and do it again?
That's what addiction is. It is a lack of
self-control.
I mean,
that's the question, isn't
it?
Yeah, but you have the ability to control that, do you not? If you believe in individual responsibility, then you believe in your ability to be able to make decisions for yourself that are going to be good for yourself. That is one of those core tenets of being a conservative, right?
Sure.
Is knowing that decisions are hard, right? And you make the right decision, even though you would much rather make a different decision.
Sure,
right?
But that doesn't mean.
Real quick, Tom, how old are you? Madman wants to know.
I'm 32. That doesn't mean
Okay.
that I deny realities at the same time. If somebody chops off my arm, I'm not going to be like, well, I have I can just think of it. I can think my arm to growing back. Like, that's not how it works. Some things happen to be.
But you're obviously exercising self-control right now, right? You're saying that if the government legalized it tomorrow, that all of a sudden that's supposed to be the make or break difference as to whether or not you would decide to go do it, right? I would argue that you're exercising self-control now, because if you literally had this overwhelming power over you, then it wouldn't matter whether or not the government had a fucking law against it or for it. You would still be going to do it. Am I not right?
To a point, but a lot of that self-control comes from consequences that I'm afraid of, right? So like I've been arrested numerous times, I've been to prison numerous times. I let my family down, my friends down, people who depended on me. If eventually I get out and I say, like, third or fourth time, I think the last time I did like 13, 14 months, and I get out and I say, like, okay, like I can't keep doing this to these people. So I have to stay clean in order to be with them, right? If it's legal, I don't have to be afraid of going back to prison. I can go right back to doing heroin all I want, but I will likely stop going to work again. And,
well, hold on, because I feel like we're going down a rabbit hole. Like, CTV, why are we here? Like, sure, you have like doubts in him that he's like an actual conservative, but okay, like what now? Or you just want to have a conversation now?
I feel like right now it's more about Tom getting to understand that he has the control, right? He has the ability to make a decision and hold to it without Big Daddy government.
No, yeah.
Right. That right there is like, that's a very core, like, if you believe in the Constitution and being a free man or a free woman, right? A free individual, right? Without the constraints of government holding you back, and there being very minimal amount of government being used to actually regulate the society, then you yourself have to be willing from Jump Street to take responsibility for your own actions and not make just bad decisions for yourself, because our founders said plainly, right, that our Constitution was wholly inept at governing anything other than a just and moral people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be able to do that from the start. And I'm not perfect by any fucking means. Don't get me wrong, right? But you already understanding all the bad things that happen from heroin and then getting off of it, surely it's not just the government that has you
Well, CTV
actually committing to self-control. Surely it's not just the government.
I'm
Surely
sorry.
the family and friends that you mentioned, right?
If I can just real quick, I think that, like, when I use the chopping off my arm example, like, I think you're just denying science at this point, where we see that there are differences in your brain chemistry once you've become an addict, and we understand that you don't think the same as normal people, to where, like, it is a disability at that point, and we're not gonna, like.
So are we here to have a conversation about the war on drugs and stuff like that, or are we here to like talk about? Because I thought we were here to talk about like seeing what this guy's all about, and like, what
makes you
his
think
plans
I'm not
are.
doing that right now, Aftershock?
But it just sounds like we're getting into policy
know that it
instead of, why don't
sounds-
you just ask him? Okay, that's how
look,
you feel about this. What about this?
Aftershock, right? I get what it sounds like. This is how I get to know people.
And I think
It may
he's
not be
still
the way.
doing it.
It may not be the way that you would do it, right? But I'm trying to speak to the man right now. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to speak to policy. I'm sure, and it seems like chat seems to understand what it is that I'm trying to get to.
I understand
right?
what you're trying to get to as well. I'm trying to explain that I still believe in, like, individualism while also acknowledging science at the same time.
Yeah, I get the science part of it, but you still have control over yourself. You still have that control to decide whether or not you're going to do something or whether or not you're not going to do it, right?
Yeah, for the most part. I think that might be an oversimplification, but for the most part, yes.
Why would it be an oversimplification? If you believe in individual rights and you believe in the individual, then it shouldn't be that hard to be able to say and to actually hold to yourself, because I don't know, I grew up, a man is no better than his word, right? So I always try to be very careful about when I give my word on something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And individual rights is one of those things, like, my ability to hold and possess a firearm is very near and dear to my heart. So there isn't things that I would be willing to do to risk that, understanding that once I committed a felony, then I would lose that. You know what I mean? And that's a part of the system of government that we have in place and has been since the beginning, right? If you're committing a crime, you lose your right to a firearm and vote and et cetera, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm
Tom,
responsible.
I'm on your side here, Tom, for the most part. But I mean, you also have to take into account like conservative beliefs of individuality and stuff, individual responsibility. So you wouldn't not acknowledge that people going back to drugs in and of themselves, making that conscious decision would be inherently like they're bad, right? Like you would not acknowledge, like you going back to heroin would ultimately be on you, right? You wouldn't say that's not true, right? I acknowledge what you're saying about like, well, we should take into account like addiction, you know what I mean? Like these kind of things that like, the individual really can have a hold on, but sometimes struggle to hold on to it, and sometimes it slips. I see what you're saying, but you would not acknowledge that individual responsibility plays a key role here, right?
Yeah, of course. And this is very anecdotal just from my own experiences as well. But
sure,
it's I think that
I don't care about anything else other than just you at this particular moment.
Right, but if we're talking about making this legal, like across the board, like I think that like I don't think that doing drugs.
I kind of went off of the.
Yeah,
I kind of went off the whole war on drugs thing, right? I'm literally just talking to you, like about your experience. That's why, like, Aftershock's still in the war on drug things. I'm already past that. I'm talking to the man about his particular, particular affliction, right? And how you deal with that,
right?
Like when you make the statement that if it was legalized tomorrow, you'd drop everything and go do it again. Like now I feel like there's an intervention that I need to have. I don't know.
I just don't think that I think you're oversimplifying it to say that I can just choose not to do it. I think that once your brain chemistry is actually changed, I think that there's more that you're just not accounting for. And I wouldn't say that doing drugs just is inherently bad overall. I think it's the effects that comes from doing drugs and like on our society.
Okay, so then would you, right, and I can follow you in this way, right? Would you say that it's a lot easier to not have sex before you've had sex?
I'm sorry,
Would you say that it's easier to not have sex before you've had sex?
Yeah, of course.
Because as soon as you do, now you know, right?
Right.
It'd be the same difference for a drug in my experience, right?
Right.
So in that case, now you know. And you not only know like the feeling that it could give you, you also know consequences of that
months where he's saying over and over that the election was stolen, that it was taken from him. Like it's not just what happened on that one day, it's everything that led up to it, then deciding to have that rally for who knows what reason on that day at that place and to say those things. It's all of them connected together. It's like a whole linear problem where it's not just that one day, it's everything that led up to it as well.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you're fine.
I was just wondering, do you guys think Trump actually thought that do you think he was playing 4D chess or whatever? Do you think he actually thought that the election was stolen, or do you think he's stupid enough, or do you think that he knew that the election wasn't stolen enough? Or do you think that do you think he thought the election was stolen, or do you think he was actually dumb enough to think that it was like that? Okay, I don't know. I really think he thought that it was stolen. Like, I really do think he was just doing exactly what he thought.
All I have to say about that is we're going to have to wait till on the 19th when the 3 Supreme Court cases that are still open are heard.
Oh God! So let me start this by saying,
hold on, let chocolate speak.
And if they find that he was right, it will change nothing. We still have a dickhead in the presidency. And we'll never lose him because they will not remove him, even if they prove that it was right, that Trump was right. Even if it's proven, Biden will still remain there. Nothing will change.
Okay, so let me preface this by saying I personally don't think the election was stolen. I do think there were some questions that were not answered. Should Trump have said what he said? No, I don't think so. I think he's a fucking moron. I don't think he's playing 4D chess. I think but so my problem with this argument is it sets a horrible.
I do think that at this point, since you're getting ready to pivot, right? I think it's important to note at this time. Yeah.
What? How am I pivoting? I'm talking about Trump.
I know. Just wait for it, right? So it's important to note that there were election laws that were passed in certain states, and those were being brought up by the Texas suit, right? Mm-hmm. And because those laws were passed without going through their individual state's legislature, that is in fact unconstitutional, right? I've had this conversation many times on many different panels, right? Mm-hmm. And reality is that is just the fact. So that in and of itself is unconstitutional, and that's what the Texas case was bringing up. And 2 of the Supreme Court justices dissented in the majority opinion, agreeing that the Supreme Court should have been the one that saw the case. The rest of the justices didn't think that it needed to be saw there. They said that they couldn't because of standing. Yeah. Well, if one state has a grievance against other states, shouldn't it be the Supreme Court be the one that actually is the only one that has standing?
Yes.
Yeah, like I don't think Matt or Tom disagree with the fact that there were questions that were not answered, but I'm more trying to because we agree there. Unless somebody doesn't, then you can bring it up. But my problem is with the overall argument that the Democrats are trying to push here, which is if you say something and people interpret it as such and then act on it, that's on you, right? So we're bringing up a lot of things that I know Democrats are doing a lot of this stuff where well, it's what happened, months and months and months of him saying X, Y, Z. And even though this case and this case and this case didn't even then, Trump only had like 3 or 4. He didn't have like 60, which a lot of people believe. But they're trying to pile it up to make it such a bad thing. But all in all, it's just a simple freedom of speech case. And, the definition of incitement as well, which is he didn't encourage anything. In fact, he encouraged peace. He also said he was going to go with them. Also, the riot happened while he was on stage, right? So he also said he was going to be there. Now, in order for you to believe that he incited violence, you would have had to have believed that Trump was also going to be there doing the same thing. If you're going to believe everything he's saying, but my problem is that we're focusing a lot on the bad things that we can explain instead of the good things that are completely just out in the open. Like, I know you'll march peacefully and patriotically cheer on your things, and obviously he says some stuff that and for some of those you won't be cheering so much, but obviously he means booing and being disappointed and stuff. But Yeah, that's
I
where
think
I'm at with
that's
that.
a little off topic though, like whether or not it's protected speech or not. Like that has absolutely nothing to do with whether or not you can be impeached for it, or whether or not all of the months leading up to it, him saying over and over that the election was stolen, like whether or not that's inciting people to do these things once they are rioting.
You know what I
whether or
don't
not
understand
he
about
called
this?
Capitol
You know what
Police.
Hold on, slow down. You know what I don't understand about whenever somebody starts explaining months and months
Yeah.
of saying that the election was, it was literally a month from when the election happened to whenever it got to the part of the electoral college,
The
right?
election happened on November 6th. This took place on January 6th. That's 2 months. He was also saying the election was going to be stolen before the election ever happened.
Okay, so then you could qualify the statement by saying months, but months and months would imply at least 2 plus 2.
Yeah, I would say like 4 or 5 months before the election ever happened. He was saying all of this
Right.
stuff.
Oh, he was saying that we need to keep an eye out for this because Democrats were pushing for mail-in ballots, correct?
He said that the election is going
Yes
to
or
be
no?
stolen.
Yes or no? Democrats were pushing for mail-in ballots,
He
and that's
also said
specifically
that.
what he was addressing.
No, when he said the election is going to be stolen, I don't think he was talking about just mail-in ballots, but I think that that's a lot of the way like he justifies his rhetoric.
I really think that he realized.
Wait, hold on. Say that one more time.
Okay.
Saying he justifies his rhetoric by saying that like it had that they did it through mail-in ballots, but then eventually he kept just saying in general the election was going to be stolen. So I think we can look at the Fox News interview where he said specifically it was going to be stolen, but he didn't reference any mail-in ballots at that point.
Yeah, I need to see that. Did he literally like just outright he was saying the election's going to be stolen, guys? Or was he talking about specific problems that the Dems were trying to do with mail-in ballots and stuff like that? And obviously, like mail-in ballots, sure, whatever they want to do, that's fine. We can talk about that. But the context is what matters. You know, if you take that sentence and just separate it out and just say it once,
they asked him,
it makes it seem bad. But
they asked him if he was going to accept the results of the election, and he said, not if there's corruption. And I think Chris Wallace asked him what that meant, and he said, well, they might steal the election. And this wasn't the first time he had said something about them just stealing the election, right?
Sure, but corruption can like the whole thing with mail-in ballots that was done unconstitutionally.
Sure, but even afterwards, they were talking about not just mail-in ballots, but like Dominion machines and people throwing away ballots. And
sure, but now you're trying to broaden what he's saying. Like he said, he said corruption is doing something unconstitutional. I would consider that corruption. That's wrong. It's unconstitutional. But now you're trying to bring up other things of Dominion, which I definitely agree. I don't think Dominion, the necessary proof was not given. But that's another example.
No,
that's just another bad thing that he said.
Are you saying that wouldn't fall into corruption?
No, yes, no. Yeah, it would fall into corruption, but you're saying that he said there was going to be corruption and the election would be stolen. Corruption does include constitutional stuff, and the stuff that happened in Pennsylvania was unconstitutional.
Sure. So you're saying there's one sliver of what he said that ended up being true after the fact, but
he was speculating.
Sure. And that's what I'm saying is that not only did he speculate, but he didn't even, once the election happened, he didn't only reference the things in Pennsylvania or Texas. He went into a million other different reasons why the election was stolen as well, why there was corruption as well. So like to pick out just the little parts that he was right about and ignore all of the other things is, I don't think that makes my statement wrong at that point.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you, Tom. Right, the whole point of this conversation was to try to establish like whether or not you were conservative. I'm asking for help on that. I feel like at this point, whether you're probably just a
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't believe that. I just I, basically
Whoa, slow down. Hold on. Anybody was not for the victim, me and Tygar, right? And the women in the room, right? Anybody that was definitely trying to fight back against that idea and hold her responsible as well would definitely be the type of person that would be seeing Satan in that idea, right?
There you go.
I would agree that all secularism
not really.
probably has something to do with like I guess the opposite of religious is probably the devil influencing others. So I guess in that way, yeah, sure. I would agree with that.
Wow.
I don't think the devil has anything to do with it.
So it's only see how it is. Freedom of religion in the United States.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
Christianity. Yeah.
Well, what was
Oh, so my religion doesn't mean jack shit.
Yeah, nobody. Your purple-headed snow skiers, right? That they go fucking swimming on the planet Neutron, right? Nobody gives a fuck.
I am Norse pagan.
so am I. Thank you very much.
So you're talking about Odin, then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we like Odin. Odin's cool.
We
He
just
got a
don't
lot of
Loki.
look. He got a lot of star fandom, right, in the Marvel universe, right? So we
That's
like
not
Odin and
where it
Thor.
You butthead.
I was Norse pagan before the Thor movies ever came out.
I'm aware of this, dude.
my
Like the
aunt-
stories of Thor and Loki go all the way back. Like that's
Exactly.
yeah.
And also Christianity kind of stole, holidays from my religion.
How can you steal something like that? How can you steal a holiday?
Because
Can you not just?
They didn't steal them; they integrated them.
That's still
No.
considered
Look, y'all need to start using the American word, right? It's called reappropriation.
fuck reappropriation.
No, it's like we're bringing it into the fold, right? It's like it was just yours, but guess what now, fuckers? It's American now too.